Diversity, equity, and inclusion are not just buzzwords, and nor should they be weaponized. They are the foundation of powerful storytelling. Today, we are going to discuss ways that you can make your set more diverse and inclusive.
But before we start, please click that subscribe button to help us grow our channel. All right, let's get started.
Okay, so number one, jumping right into it, right? Let's do this. Hire a diverse crew at every level. I mean, I think that is number one.
I'm laughing because like there are people who fight that, which is
weird. And also diverse doesn't necessarily mean ethnicity or race.
Yeah.
Like diverse could be able-bodied. Yep. It could be intellectually, like, you know, like neurodivergent.
Yes.
There's so many different ways that diversity comes into play. I think that we tend to only think that it means like race.
Because that's how it was, that's how it's been perceived for so long.
Yeah.
And it's like gender is diverse, right?
Right.
Like there's so many parts of humankind that make us diverse. We don't all have the same shared experiences. Yeah. You and I been titty tight for a long time, but still we've lived two very different
completely
lives. You know, come from two different backgrounds.
Yeah.
But just because we share an ethnicity does not mean that we're all the same, right?
Yeah. We're not monolithic.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, when I'm working on a project and I am crewing it up, I always like diversity wherever I can. Like I'm always thinking about it. And I think I spoke to you about this the other day. So on my crew, it's like, we need somebody. I'm asking my crew, do you know of anybody to fill this? So for referrals, right? For recommendations, Facebook groups, like diverse Facebook groups.
Yep.
I post jobs there or I ask people there. Because when you cast the net wide, you tend to get more people back.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yep.
And just because you're casting the net wide does not mean that these people can't do it.
Right.
There are people out there that can do everything, you know. You're just casting your net wide to find them.
Yeah. So let's jump into number 2. Cast authentically, which also shouldn't be that hard, I don't think. Well, no, that's not true, because we have a story of it being a little difficult. But I think if you're writing stories, say about the LGBTQ community, make sure that you are casting authentically so that people who come from that experience can put it on screen.
Yeah.
I think they bring an experience that not everyone knows. So if the character is LGBTQIA, why wouldn't you put cast someone from that community? So that's why I think casting authentically matters.
Oh, yeah. I think we have a couple stories. So remember, we were developing the, the Bible for a reality show.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a reality show, but it was based on a reality show.
Yes.
And there was this one scene where the little kid was a black kid doing something in the morning, like eating cereal or something. But the way it was laid out, you and I were just like, that's not a black kid. Like, so we knew that the people who wrote the script, because we were coming in to rewrite it, that they weren't black. Because that experience, that was not a black authentic black experience for a little kid.
Yeah.
And we're just like, that's not how it went down on Saturday morning. I could tell you that.
Yeah. And also when we were on stages, when we were doing our web series stages, the writer, the creator of it originally wrote that one of the 3 major cast members was a trans woman, a black trans woman.
Victoria, the character is Victoria.
And I remember her telling us when she initially filmed the pilot, she had such a hard time finding an actor
Mm-hmm.
from that community.
Yeah.
So she just cast, a cis Black woman, right? And so when we picked it up and we were adding, more to the story and making it into a web series, the three of us had that conversation, and we were all very adamant on making sure that we have a Black trans woman cast as Victoria. And it was not easy to find.
It was very difficult, and we found the actress that played Victoria the 11th hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey,
Janice.
Hey, Janice. I think that we found JoJo a week before we started filming.
Yeah.
And it was hard.
It was hard.
And I'm not even going to go into why it was hard.
Yeah.
But it was just.
It was hard. It was hard to find, but I'm glad that we were diligent because the author of this role wrote her very specific.
Right.
And we were able to fulfill that, and which made the web series even more amazing and more authentic.
And Victoria was one of my favorite characters. Yes. I really loved her.
Fire.
I loved her. So that, and that's great. And disability, like able-bodied.
Let's talk about it.
Right? Too often roles portraying disabled characters are going to able-bodied. But also I think it goes into another realm. Really not thinking about able-bodied and making things accessible. I know I was like that. I don't know how you are out there, but definitely share. I was working on this particular short film called Frat Pie, and we had, in order to get to it, you had to go down these stairs,
right?
And these steps were steep. That was the quickest way there. There is another way to get, but it's like all around and the back of the church,
right.
And I didn't think about it, accessibility, until I had to, and someone they broke their leg or something like that, but they were still able-bodied.
Yeah, they couldn't, right.
And they couldn't, and it was just like, long story longer, I had egg on my face.
Because of the assumption.
Because I didn't, and I didn't think, like, not everybody may not be able to, even though their body may look like they can get those steps, not everybody is.
Right.
And I'm really glad that happened, because now I'm always thinking, where are the entrances? Can everybody access it?
Right.
Just because someone looks like they're able-bodied, there may be some limitations.
Yeah. So that was point 3, excuse me, that you just made, which is about creating an inclusive and safe space on set for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like, sometimes you're not necessarily making, it may seem like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that to make this, make somebody who may be on crutches or in a wheelchair. Don't make it seem like it's making you have to work harder.
Yeah.
Because these are human beings who come with an experience and skills. And just because they may need you to accommodate, certain things, you are still winning because they're there on your set.
Yeah.
And you chose them to be there on your set. So just make it, it's not that hard. I don't want people to think that it is, or it's just going to cost too much, blah, blah. It really isn't.
It
really isn't.
It really isn't hard, and it's not all that difficult, and it's not costly. What other ways are you making your sets diverse? Because for me, and I think for us, it's people look at our set or look at us and they think that our set is all like Black women, cisgendered, right?
Of a certain age. Women of a certain age.
And it can't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Our core, like the crew that we took stages, was very diverse.
Yes.
But our crew that we took to Morocco to work on the documentary, it was 2 cis women
Mm-hmm.
and 3 cis
Guys.
men.
Mm-hmm.
You
Two
know,
of them Caucasian.
Caucasian.
One
Yeah.
colorful and gorgeous. Hey, Jackson.
And neurodivergent, you know? So, I mean...
Yeah. Had a blast.
That's
our crew. That is our crew.
Our go-to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we know so many other people.
Yeah.
So let's just dive into number 4.
Okay.
Be mindful of the story that you tell.
We're giving you all that neck action.
Yeah. I mean, if we go back to Victoria, the trans actress.
Yeah.
She needed to be trans.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we had the conversation because we were like, yo, could we get away with it? Because we were literally at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
And we could have.
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing I wanted was to be canceled before we even started.
Before we even hit play or
right. And they were like, you had this pivotal role and she wasn't even trans.
Right. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know, at this point, recently, and I mean, as in like yesterday, I had this discussion with someone about being mindful of the stories you tell. Zoe Saldana as Nina Simone.
Oh, congratulations. Shout out.
On your Oscar.
On your Oscar.
That role was so important to the community. And casting a person, an actor who does not even consider herself to be Black, playing one of the blackety black women of our time, gloriously talented, gifted beyond the universe, powerful woman, outspoken woman, very pivotal to the Black experience, and to cast someone that does not consider herself to be Black. To me, it was akin to just, honestly, you could have just put J-Lo in that role, throw on some dark paint like they did with Zoe, and move on. So this is why I think being very mindful of the stories you tell and who you are casting to tell those stories matters.
It does. I mean, I agree.
I know you got your feelings.
I do, but I can't believe it's just like you just that was a bomb that you just dropped.
Number 5.
It's inclusion is long-term and it's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Diversity is long-term and it's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't call it diversity, you don't call it inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody in the room who's making the decisions looks like you,
Mm-hmm.
then you need to say, did I really try to find somebody that doesn't look like me and doesn't look like them to bring them in?
To bring their experience. Could they broaden my
because even if we're not even talking about cast, we're talking about crew,
mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. We're talking about, the DP and the AC and camera 1, camera 2,
grip.
Everybody has a story.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a different lens. And when you bring them in, it's like this amazing salad.
Cornucopia.
Right? Oh my gosh. It's a beautiful charcuterie board. Oh my God. So, let's all be a beautiful charcuterie board.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I think we've hit it. We've hit it all.
So what does your charcuterie board look like? Like, we want to know,
and I'm saying, are the meats all in one place? Are the cheeses here? Or are you someone that's just like, let's just mix it all up and add the different, make sure all the different flavors touch each other.
Yeah.
And, a burst in your mouth.
Right. Where are those grapes?
The figs. We're the figs. Okay. But yeah, I think we've hit it. We've hit the 5.
Yeah. So let us know what your 6, 7, 8. In the comments, we'd love to hear from you. So, what's one way you're making the industry more diverse and more inclusive? Let us know in the comments.
And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you'll be in the know when we post another video.
All right.
That's a
That's
wrap.
a wrap.